Sugar indeed. As the heavy crane tilted back, part of it got trapped by the chains lifting the machine. With the crane going one way and the chains stopping these poles from following, they got completely bent out of shape.
Didn't need this, did we?
The salvage squad are trying to restore a vintage piece of construction history. The 10RB is a machine that can work as a crane, a digger or a wrecking ball. And much to the dismay of its owner, that's what we're going to use it for. But there's still a long way to go before it's ready to do demolition. And the squad were lifting the newly painted base when they might have wrecked their chances.
Stop a minute, stop. Yeah, another little hurdle. Jerry's taking it up on the chains. Not noticing that the chains have been wrapped around here. And as it's gone up, as you can see, we've got a new angle to our straight bars.
The poles that have got bent make up part of the A-frame. This supports the cables that run to the jib, so it's a vital part of the crane's anatomy.
It's a problem we could do without. We didn't need it.
It's because everyone was watching the chains and not what was going on upstairs.
Yeah, no, but saying you've got to always, as a driver, you always got to try and watch everything. Always.
Everyone's guilty, mate. You were watching as well as I.
All this hassle was about the routine replacement of two awkward-to-get-at split pins. The upshot of it is, Axel gets under the thing and gets dirty. More seriously, somebody's going to have to find time to repair these poles. And they weren't the only thing that got damaged.
One of the major frustrations on this job is that we take one step forward, we get all the paint on, fantastic, but we're so short of time, we have to move on it immediately. So we pick it up with a crane, scratch it to pieces, and we're going to have to touch it up and do it again. And I hate it. If you're going to do a job, you do it properly the first time and then leave it.
While the squad are trying to figure out what to do about the scratched, battered and bent crane they've just restored, I've gone to get the steel cables that will operate our wrecking ball. They're being made at Bryden Ropes. They've got heaps of the stuff. Steel rope is basically the same as normal rope, except you make it with wire. Making it stronger and more flexible is to take a number of wires and weave them strand. Keith Glaspie explains how.
OK, well, the wire that we've made is now on bobbins, and then we're taking it down the machine to where we're going to form it into the strand. Now, on a conventional stranding machine, the wires would be spinning round, but on this machine, they're not. It's the strand that's spinning round. The interesting thing is how we make the strand turn. That's why this machine's buncher. And this is it. Now, there's a black button there. Yeah. If you'd like to press that... You sure? Oh, absolutely. You'll be OK. You'll see what happens. Press it down now. OK, so you can see these bows going round, and what they're doing is they're pulling the strand through and twisting it up. It goes round the machine, collects it in the middle, just finished strand.
The double twist buncher pulls and twists the 7 individual wires into one very strong strand. The next stage is to repeat the process, weave 7 strands together on another machine. But before we can do that, I've got a spot of manual labour to do.
That's ready to go, I think.
We're going to have to get you on the books.
That's it going, yeah?
Let go. Hey! And we're away, we're making our rope.
The importance of the ropes cannot be overestimated. It is they that transmit the energy of our powerful diesel engine to the jib and wrecking ball.
And here's that little bit of rope that you make with your own fair hands. Right? There you go.
By the way, which way is Glasgow?
This way, and it's a long way, but I'll give you a hand to get you going. Are you ready?
Cheers, mate.
OK, it's up to you.
Toodaloo.
Cheers.
You tack the high road and I'll tack the...
Back in Scotland, Axel and Willie have taken our badly bent poles to the fabricators to see if they can be bent straight. But...
we can't straighten them because it'll fatigue the metal too much. So what I'm going to have to do now is cut these ends off, get some new tubing and stick them back on again. Job I really didn't need to do.
This welding torch is fitted with a gouging rod. It removes welds instead of creating them and avoids the need to cut through metal. Axel needs to keep these mounts as they attach to the rest of the A-frame. He has to make sure everything is exactly as it was before the accident. That means getting the poles the right length.
65.5. Right, let's go and find some tubing.
Back at the main workshop, Claire and Jerry have called in some extra help in the form of John Freefall McCall. He's here to lend a hand, and once the crane's finished, he'll be our designated driver. John McCall got his nickname after a platform he was working on collapsed. He had to jump from his falling crane while it was in mid-air. Now he's Freefall McCall to everyone that knows him. The trio continue restoring the drivetrain. The new tumblers and idlers have already gone in. Now the squad are really starting to get back on track. Come on, guys. We've all got to pull together. Now we've got tracks. An engine would be handy.
Oh, I've finally got my lovely new water-retaining plate. It's just a case of fitting it now.
With this new plate bolted snugly onto the engine block, Claire can now get down to the important job of making the thing look pretty. But there's a couple of other items that could do with a lick of paint.
Oi, oi! Claire, Jerry!
The repaired A-frame poles.
What do you reckon?
Hey!
That'll do. Well done.
They're good. Let's get them back on and pretend it never, ever happened.
It didn't.
It's all a dream.
Having been the hero, Axel hands over the job of reassembling the A-frame.
Up, right. Okay. Right back.
These new poles should slot into place so the top retaining pin goes easily through both of them.
It's not awful keen. You're not happy.
No, not happy with that.
What Willie's concerned about is the hole centres, the distance between here and here isn't exactly the same on both posts, and it must be.
Axel's track record is exemplary, and he's keen to keep it that way. He just can't accept he might have made a mistake.
No, I'm not taking the blame for nothing. No, no, no. They measured it. It was exactly the same length poles. I saw them measure them.
There's only one way to find out.
Take it to the centre of the hole.
196.
Try the other side now. Spot on.
Spot on.
The poles are both the right length.
Phew, I thought I got it wrong.
So what's the problem then?
I think what it is, that there's a twist in this A-frame, so it's sitting a bit like that.
Is it?
So Axel's in the clear. With a bit of jiggery pokery, the poles go on and fit just fine. The other good news is Jerry's ready to test the engine.
I've rigged up a battery and a fuel supply, and we're going to run it right here on the deck. Should we go for it then?
Yeah, go on.
Go on.
This three-cylinder engine chucks out 34 horsepower on a good day. It drives everything from the Caterpillar tracks to the jib. And we're going to need all it's got if we're going to do any demolition.
Well, you certainly proved it's running.
There's a runner.
It's very happy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that?
Smoking.
You're a very happy little diesel.
The next stage is to get the engine back on.
A little bit that way, please. Just leave it there, please. Mind your fingers, Claire. Yes! That was ridiculously easy. It's gone right for the first time. What we're going to do is pick up the first drum shaft, bring it across and drop it into the first slot here. So that's one of the cable drums. Once that's done, it's a case of putting the oil in and rebuilding.
Right, there you go, John. That'll be him. That's fine.
The crane's got all its major mechanics back on board, and now it's ready for the jib. But the machine's facing the wrong way. Luckily, it can pivot through 360 degrees. Of course, this is normally done with a powerful diesel engine.
That's where we want to be. Wee back. Whoop.
Now it's ready for the jib. It's this that will hold up our wrecking ball. Claire and Willie have got one half of it, and Axel's been painting the other.
Well, I've run out of grey primer and all that's left is pink. So we've got a rough, tough, creamy puff kind of crane.
I wonder how this will go down with the Scotsman.
I've heard of the pink Cadillac, but I've never seen McCall with a pink jib.
I think he likes it. Freefall McCall and his pink crane.
It'll be the laughing stock of the buildings when you do it with that.
The jib was damaged, so Axel welded in umpteen bits of metal to put it right. All that remains now is to bolt it back together.
Well, there's one.
No, we'll do this one.
Ah, he's got it. Right, Willie, ready.
Shove it this way, Jerry.
Our multicoloured jib is whole again.
Whoa, you're too far.
How's that?
Too far. Go on, then. That's it.
Hey! That's it, it's on.
Chains off.
Right, chains off. The pink RV lives!
That pink undercoat will be covered in Ruston's green, which is lucky, as Donald the owner wouldn't be a fan of the colour. He hasn't seen the crane during the restoration, and he still can't quite come to terms with my wrecking ball plans.
These machines were used for demolition at the end of their life, really, when construction companies maybe had finished with them. People would buy them for scrapyards, for breaking cars, for demolishing old buildings, and if it get crushed or damaged, well, they just cut it up and buy a new one. Whether Suggs has got a sort of bee in his bonnet, have never been a pop star, that he never got to throw the television out the window, then maybe this is him just trying to get his own back.
I'm going to smash more than the TV, Donald, I can tell you. But before we get to have any fun, there's still work to do fitting the new cab.
That's it, John. Do you want to come down a bit and go your right?
The squad put some panels in place and then run a few checks.
Even the starting handle hole lines up.
That's right.
Excellent.
I like that. That looks good.
Yeah, nice work.
Nice work. It looks like Frankenstein's monster at the moment. Look at it. Half a dozen different colours of paint, nothing bolted together, bits of panelling falling off. It's a nightmare.
It's just the cosmetics. How hard can it be?